In today's episode, I'm going to share with you some of the most beautiful words of the English language. This is not an extensive list, it's just some words that I personally find absolutely stunning and elegant in the English language. Hey everybody, how's it going? Thiago here, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. In case you're listening to this podcast for the first time, I have created it to help intermediate and advanced learners of English communicate with more confidence, more accuracy, more clarity, and more awareness. If this sounds like something you want for yourself and your English, subscribe to the channel here on YouTube and follow the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. That way, you're not going to miss a single new episode. Registrations for my conversation club are open, but they are closing very soon because classes begin already next week. So if you're looking to practice speaking English with me and other learners on a live call once a week, learn more about it by checking out the links here in the description of the video and also in the show notes. And check out my pronunciation course. This is a course that you can take at your own pace, at your own time, to learn more about English pronunciation, the sounds of the English language, and the main connected speech patterns that you see native speakers using when they speak English. So all the links to the Conversation Club and the course are here in the description of the video, in the pinned comment below on YouTube, and also in the show notes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Do check them out. All right, the first beautiful word in English I find is the word serendipity. Serendipity, that's a noun. That's the occurrence and development of events by chance and in a happy or beneficial way. Basically, it's when something happens unexpectedly, but it turns out to be something very good. It's like a happy coincidence. We call this serendipity. For example, our meeting was pure serendipity. We both happened to choose the same cafe for our morning coffee. You see? Pure serendipity, a happy coincidence. Let me add here the adjective and the adverb forms as well. So you can say serendipitous, something that is serendipitous. For example, their serendipitous meeting led to a lifelong friendship. And you also have the adverb, serendipitously. For example, they serendipitously found the perfect house while on a weekend road trip. Okay, so that's the first beautiful word for today. The next one is idyllic. Idyllic, that's an adjective. This is something extremely pleasant, beautiful, or peaceful. Idyllic. For example, we spent an idyllic weekend in a cozy cabin by the lake. Idyllic. I love that. Then we have the word quintessential. Quintessential, it's also an adjective, and it means when something represents the most perfect or typical example of a quality or class. For example, the Eiffel Tower is the quintessential symbol of Paris. You see? So it really represents, it's a perfect example of Paris in this case, is the quintessential symbol of Paris. You know, right now I've been watching Cobra Kai, because, there's a new season out on Netflix. I love this show. We could say that Cobra Kai is the quintessential show when it comes to the 80s. Is one of the quintessential shows about the 80s. Stranger Things is also another one that is quintessential when it comes to the 80s. Then we have the word ubiquitous. Ubiquitous. Again, an adjective. When something is ubiquitous, it is present and it appears and can be found everywhere. It's extremely common. You see it all the time. You see it everywhere. It's ubiquitous. All right? For example, smartphones have become ubiquitous in modern society, meaning you see smartphones every day, all the time, everywhere, in people's hands. So smartphones nowadays have become ubiquitous. All right? Then we have the next beautiful word, oblivious. Oblivious. When you are oblivious, you are not aware of something, or you're not concerned about what is happening around you. One of these two options. For example, he was oblivious to the danger he was in. In other words, he didn't know about the danger he was in. He was oblivious. He had no idea. We can say that children, in many ways, are oblivious to many things, right? They are in the environment, they are in the situation, but they're not really fully aware of what is going on. They are usually oblivious in their own little world, okay? I can also throw in there the noun form for oblivious, which would be obliviousness. So that's the state of being oblivious, of course. His obliviousness to the problem was astonishing. What a nice phrase. His oblivioususness to the problem was astonishing. The fact that he had no idea what was happening was astonishing. All right? Next beautiful word, we have exquisite. Exquisite. If you call something exquisite, you mean that this thing is extremely beautiful and delicate, fine, classy, exquisite, you know? The artist's paintings were filled with exquisite detail and vibrant colors. You see? Then we have another great word, another beautiful word, picturesque. Picturesque. When something is picturesque, it is visually attractive, especially in a quaint or charming way. For example, the countryside was dotted with picturesque villages and rolling hills. For example, I find personally that some places in Switzerland, in Austria, you know, they are really picturesque. You know, those beautiful hills and those remote houses. It's picturesque, all right? Visually charming, visually attractive, okay? Then we have candid. Candid. When you are candid, you are truthful and straightforward. You are frank. You are honest. You are candid. Okay? She gave a candid interview about her struggles with addiction. She gave a candid interview. It was an honest interview. She really opened up in that interview. Okay? Then we have another word that I find attractive, which is gregarious. It's a great word, gregarious. Now, if you call a person gregarious, you mean that person is fond of company. That person is very sociable. So think about a very sociable person who likes being around people, is always interacting and talking to people. That person is a gregarious person, okay? Usually extroverted people, very extroverted people tend to be gregarious by nature, you know? For example, he was a gregarious person who loved to meet new people, okay? Then we have meticulous. Meticulous. So meticulous, I love that word as well. When you are meticulous, you show great attention to detail. You are very careful and precise about what you're doing, about what you're speaking, about what you're writing, reading, creating. You are meticulous, okay? For example, the artist was meticulous in his work, ensuring every brush stroke was perfect. Meticulous. Also surgical, we can call it, right? Then we have the word tenacious. Not Tenacious D, Jack Black's band, but the word tenacious, okay? So if you call someone tenacious, you mean that that person keeps a firm hold of something, clinging or adhering closely, tenacious, you know? It doesn't let go, all right? The person doesn't let go. The person is tenacious. For example, she was tenacious in her pursuit of her goals, never giving up. You see, so she never let go of her goals. She was tenacious, incredibly determined, okay? Then we have the word affable. Again, a very beautiful word, I think. Affable. Affable. When you are affable, you are friendly, you are good-natured, you are easy to talk to. You are an affable person. For example, the affable shopkeeper always had a kind word for his customers. Okay? It's interesting because, as you can see here, most of these beautiful words that I'm presenting today are adjectives, right? I just noticed that now. Most of them are adjectives. Then we have the word lavish. Lavish. Well, if you are lavish, you are rich, elaborate, or luxurious, okay? We usually use this word not to talk about a person, but to talk about a person's lifestyle. Yeah, the person can have a lavish lifestyle, meaning that the person spends a lot of money on luxury, on nice things, you know, even too much money on those things, you know? Look, the wedding reception was a lavish affair with an abundance of food and drink. It was a lavish affair. It was a lavish wedding. Like, a lot of money was spent there and it was really luxurious. Then we have the word gratuitous. Gratuitous. So something gratuitous is uncalled for. It lacks good reason. It's unwarranted. You know, it's like it wasn't necessary to show this, to display that. It's gratuitous. For example, the film was criticized for its gratuitous violence. You know, there are many movies like that offer or show gratuitous violence. They show a lot of blood, a lot of violent scenes. And if you find that it's too much, that all that violence is not necessary to be displayed in order to tell the story effectively, you can say that. You can say that the movie is full of gratuitous violence, okay? Other movies can be full of gratuitous nudity or gratuitous sex, you know? Like, you don't have to watch those things to understand what happens in the story, but still, the film presents something really gratuitous. Got it? You might see that word a lot in movie reviews, especially in movie reviews, TV series reviews, book reviews about like fiction stories, you know? So if you read a critic saying gratuitous, probably is referring to gratuitous sex or gratuitous violence in the movie, in the story. Finally, we have the word kindred. Kindred means similar in kind, related, okay? This word is commonly used with the collocation spirits, okay? Look, they had kindred spirits and shared many of the same interests. So they had kindred spirits that were similar in terms of personality, in terms of tastes and preferences, okay? They had kindred spirits. Beautiful. All right, I hope you found this episode useful for your English vocabulary. Don't forget to learn more about my conversation club and the pronunciation course that I'm offering now on Phrasal. You can find all the links in the description of the video, in the pinned comment below, and also in the show notes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Guys, I'm Thiago. I'm signing off. I'll be talking to you very soon in the upcoming video, and thanks again for listening. Bye-bye.